Hi, this is Coach John, and recently I was asked a question of how to stop the piano, which is a great question. So now some of my students, are starting to get deep into the position. Now we want to know, like, okay, well, what is black's best play? And the beauty about chess is there's no perfect way to play. I can't teach you an opening that's going to win every time. So that's why you have to understand both sides and both plans, and when it's actually good to play both sides of the opening. So here we go through the normal moves that a lot of my students are familiar with, and we should be familiar with this position. Some of you have attempted to play things like bishop to b6 immediately, and this doesn't do anything to stop the center. Now the center is beautiful. Knight to f6 here is the perfect move because pawn c3 didn't allow knight to go to c3 to protect the pawn on e4. So now when d4 takes, bishop check, that's still the best move because you got to try to do something before this pawn starts getting going. Knight c3, knight takes pawn. Now you've disrupted the pawn center. Okay? And most of you know that this common trick here, what we're trying to trick our opponents into. Okay, some of my students have done a good job. That you're going to get the kids with that. When we're playing black, we don't really want to do that. And by the way, I do teach them when you guys get over 1,000, I teach you a different opening for black because there's some other things that black has to deal with e4. So I teach Sicilian when you become over 1,000. But anyways, pawn d5. That's the key move here. This is the necessary move. But let's go back to here and let's just look at the database here. I have a database basically of all the games played in the history of chess. It's pretty cool. And so here, as you see, knight takes has a winning percentage for white of 66%, which is over 50, which is really good. Whereas bishop takes is way more common and is not as good. Basically, the point being is that, and you look here, like black has won like all these games in recent days. Bishop takes, basically what it tries to do is it tries to disrupt the center once again. And if they take, the key point is this move is just a great move for black. It controls the center and it doesn't allow a check on the king. If they play rook to e1, you don't even take it. You don't take the bishop because then they take with check, and then you double your pawns. Instead, you just castle your king, and you're home free. So this move d5, excuse me, if they play pawn takes, and by the way, we can't do this as black because then we get checked. In fact, Allard, one of my students, fell for this versus Chris Page. Going back to it, so after bishop takes, well, then the question is, well, what's the best move for white? Well, we know we shouldn't take, so then we play d5. And then this is where black sometimes struggles, and you really have to know your stuff. And the move is bishop to f6. I see a lot of times kids mess up this position. For example, after here, you play a move like, let's see what the best move here is. After knight to a5, it wants you to play pawn takes, yep. And now, bishop d3 has a really good winning percentage too. Let's look at bishop d3. And now, after castles, we just take this guy, yeah. And now if he takes, we get him a little trick like this. So, or maybe even better is to play here. There's a lot of mistakes that black can make here. Another common one is to play this. And now after takes, rook to here. Now when you move this guy, I take this bishop. If you move the bishop, I take the knight. So anyways, this is going to be a problem for black. Keeping the king in the center. For example, if bishop goes back here, pawn takes, queen takes, great move. And now, black is begging to hold on. All right, let's go back. So, after this move d5, black should play bishop f6, rook e1, and now you move the knight to e7. And by doing this move, okay, white gets back the piece. And basically the material is actually still in favor of black. Black is just up a pawn. Black is up a pawn. And they stopped white from attacking the king. So this is kind of like the best way to play, but you got to remember all these moves, like 11 moves. And still black is still not out of trouble here. For example, after bishop to here, bishop takes, knight here, and now for example, if he castles, you can play this move, knight takes h7, which is pretty cool. Knight takes, king takes, and Capablanca played a game like this back in 1914. King takes, queen check, king g8, rook h4, and now we're threatening checkmate, pawn f6, bishop d3, here, rook there, rook e6, nice move, beautiful move by Capablanca. And Capablanca was world champion from Cuba, and we live down here in Miami, so he's a national hero. Bishop d7, rook to f6, another fantastic move by Capa, and the game was over. So, even when, back in 1914 they knew these moves, but even then it wasn't so easy. So anyways, this is Coach John, and this is a way to try to play against the piano. It's important to understand both sides. Talk to you later. Bye.